What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. The drama, the drama, the drama. First, Panini sues Fanatics, and now Fanatics swings back. Cue up the "Let Them Fight" soundbite from the Godzilla movie.
Let them fight.
I kind of want to take a little different approach to this today. If you want to dig into the weeds on this, I highly suggest you go check out this very, just an epic thread by Paul Lesko over on the twitter.coms or X or Y's or Z's, whatever the hell that thing's called now. To get all the funny quotes and all the back and forth. I didn't look to see if any of my tweets were included in the documentation. I was joking in a Discord this morning about I feel bad for whatever legal aid has to sit down and sort through thousands of hours of YouTube videos complaining about Panini or Fanatics or whatever in all this to be submitted to evidence. Good luck out there. I wish you well, legal aid. You're going to earn your keep on that one. But so the angle that I kind of wanted to take here was, everyone's forming their sides. In the Sunday video that I did, I definitely lean more on the Fanatics side here. That Panini kind of screwed this thing up over the years and kind of let it to rot, and then someone came in and decided to clean it up, and it is what it is. You guys kind of lost semi fair and square, kind of made this bed, and now it's your job to sleep in it. And you could see party lines are beginning to get drawn. More people definitely seem to be on the pro Fanatics side than the pro Panini side. Some people just don't care. Some people hate monopolies in general and want the old days of all the companies coming back. And whatever side you come out on, that's cool. That's perfectly fine. You do you. Ultimately, we as consumers, collectors, flippers, investors, whatever you want to call us, the collective we of the sports card landscape, are caught in the middle of mom and dad fighting, basically. And we ultimately kind of get left holding the bag here. We are in the ultimate war here between Panini and Fanatics. One of them is going to win and come out on top. In the meantime, we, the collective we, the royal we, are the losers. Like, we really get screwed over here. And yeah, you got to break a few eggs to make the omelet. Temporary inconvenience for permanent improvement. And I get all that. But in the meantime, we are really kind of stuck in the middle. We've already seen it so far where both ends have really kind of hurt things in the short term. First, on the Panini side, they've kind of run things down. They know they're leaving. They don't care about the overall sustainability of the sports card world. They are just going to print to the moon. They are going to cut costs. They are going to ramp up production and try to milk this thing for everything that it is worth over the last couple of years that they have licenses to football and basketball. And we've been talking about that for a while. The overprinting, the parallel us to death, taking select retail, getting rid of game use so they could kind of ramp this stuff up even more and print even more. 75,000 different 101s and select. The list goes on and on here of the things that they have just really not done great. And once again, that ultimately affects us. Like, that's as consumers of basketball and football product, you don't have Fanatic stuff to turn to yet. You're stuck with whatever Panini is putting out if you want to collect Ultra Modern. If you don't, well, you don't care about any of this anyway. On the flip side, you have Fanatics trying to kind of usher this thing along a little bit and put Panini into a worse spot, signing a lot of athletes to exclusive deals. We're starting to see that on both sides. Arch Manning just signed with Panini. Now, it's an NIL deal. It's a little different. But on the pro level sports card side, we have all the stuff with the quarterbacks this year. Everything shows they did not show up in the score checklist. Sure looks like to me that we are not going to see CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, or Will Levis autos in any product this year. If you are a fan of the team, that's not good. Like that's bad. That sucks. That really, really sucks. If you are a fan of that team and you want to collect one of those players. If you're a big Texans fan, or maybe you PC CJ Stroud dating back to his Ohio State days, and you want to get some autos of him or some nicer cards or whatever, that's not going to be a thing. You're not going to be able to do that. You're going to get stuck with parallels and color matches and things like that, which some of those could be pretty nice cards, but you're not going to have a nice RPA to go after. Now, some people could argue you're not going to have a nice RPA to go after anyways, because it's just going to be a napkin patch, or it's not going to be associated with any player or event, and that very well could be the case. But because of this battle between these two titans, because Godzilla is fighting Mechagodzilla, we as collectors, hobbyists, flippers, investors, once again, whatever bucket you fall into, are caught in the middle here. We're seeing the same thing with Victor Wembanyama, most likely. Once again, no official word on that yet, but everything seems to be leaning that general direction, that his autographs won't be in product. Now, say what you will about Victor. He could be the next best thing ever to touch a basketball. He could be a complete bust. It doesn't matter. The fact remains that if you want to collect his cards, you are not going to have a Spurs uniform autograph option, most likely. Or heaven forbid, what if he does become the next LeBron? As slim as a chance that is. What if he is the next face of the league? It's really going to suck not to have rookie autos of that player in product. Like, overall, that hurts everybody. It's good for Fanatics. It's bad for Panini. It's terrible for us, as we are the ones, as the consumers of product, stuck in the middle. So, however all this thing shakes out, one of them's going to win, one of them's going to lose. It's most likely going to be Fanatics winning. It just, everything seems to be pointing that way. I am no lawyer. I don't know anything about antitrust. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I did watch a bunch of Law and Order. Just reading the room from people that seem to know this stuff, seems to be that Fanatics really doesn't have anything to worry about. But in the meantime, one, we'll get a lot of entertaining content out of it. That is for darn sure. You can already see that coming. You can mine this little document for days for content of this thing. The amount of videos you're going to see probably on Panini versus Fanatics will be astronomical. I will hashtag guilty as charged. I'm sure I will have more out on this topic as well. But we are the ones that are ultimately hurt here and screwed until this all gets settled. You know, once everything is all under one roof, hopefully it's better. At least from the standpoint of getting autos in card or in packs and those sorts of things, that'll hopefully go away. And I get it. The big bad wolf of Fanatics coming in is scary. We don't like monopolies. It's probably, there's potential for it not to be a good thing. But if Fanatics is true to their word, and whether they will be or not, who the hell knows, they are, at least contractually, in this for the long haul. They did not buy this or get into this, I guess, to quick flip it. They are treating this more like a long-term business entity. So it is not in their best interest to burn this thing to the ground in the first couple of years. Now, I could be drastically wrong on that. Maybe I'm being a little too overly optimistic and taking them a little too face value at their word, but at least the things that they are doing, acting, saying, seem to be heading in the right direction, as scary as that all sounds. Once again, I do definitely lean a little bit more on the Fanatic side of this than the Panini side of this. As this document very spectacularly lays out all the different shenanigans and nonsense that Panini has done the last couple of years with better business bureau ratings and the lack of customer service and the number of redemptions and unfulfilled customer service complaints. The list goes on and on. This is, once again, I would highly recommend reading through this list. I didn't think it was very worthwhile for me to just sit here and read you Paul Lesko's Twitter quotes. You could do that on your own. I respect your time more than that. But I did just kind of want to weigh in here on the ultimately negative effects for us as just general people that want to buy certain players, certain packs of cards, whatever, or the people that aren't in the weeds on this. You know, we forget sometimes because we're in our own little bubble here in the YouTube verse, most people that buy and collect sports cards don't consume sports card content at all. They just go in and buy a box, buy some packs, whatever it is that they do, buy into a break. I don't know that most people are following the ins and outs on a daily basis. How many people do you think, what percentage of people buying into a break or buying a box and or just let's just call it wax, whether it's retail or whatever, how many people are buying into a break or buying wax to rip for this upcoming year's football product that do not realize that there is a decent chance, once again, we don't know for sure yet, allegedly, that CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, Will Levis autos are not going to be in that product? When the expectation is just, oh yeah, well, it's the current quarterback class. Of course, I'm going to be able to hit autos of that player. I would love to know. It's impossible to know, but I am willing to bet that there is a large number of people that have no idea that this is even a thing. That's why I made the video on the score release, because, you know, how many people are buying that box expecting to be able to hit a CJ Stroud auto and not realizing that it's not in there because, one, they're being shady about the checklist, which is, you know, a negative in the Panini side of things. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, more content on all this nonsense to come over the days, weeks, months. I thought maybe there'd be a little bit of gap in time from, you know, last week's stuff, but Fanatics threw the gauntlet down. They had, what was a 101-page document. You have to imagine that their lawyers have been sitting around waiting for this suit to come out and immediately fire back. If this thing actually goes to trial, oh, the gold that will come out of this, the nuggets that will come out of this, oh, man. We'll all see how bad we were getting screwed over by everyone the last few years. That's all I got for you, boys and girls. If you don't collect Ultra Modern or Modern, you don't really care about any of this. And if you do care about Modern and Ultra Modern, if it really bugs you that much, just buy singles. That's the easiest way around it. Collect a player that you like. Don't rip wax, which is generally a good idea anyways. Even though I do rip some on the channel every once in a while. Typically is a loss leader by a mile. But that's all I got. We'll catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.